So people in Canada are worrying right now over Donald Trump's statements about trying to invade Canada. And I saw this video and I thought to myself, this is why it would never happen. Or, this video basically they say that, it would start World War III. It just wouldn't happen. First, like every country, Canada has its own military and a proud military history. I come from a military program when I was a kid, and my family's a military family. Anyhow, Canada has its own military, Air Force, Army, and Navy. They've got border control officers. They've got ranger officers. They've got Arctic rangers, and they've got border control officers, like every other country. But Canada also has something called the cadet program. There's about 45 million people living in Canada, right? People aged 11 to 17, or like 10, 11, 12 for Navy cadets, all are in a cadet program. Air cadets, sea cadets, Army cadets, whatever. And even I was in that program, and when I was in that program, I learned how to survive in the backcountry. They took us to the mountains, and we learned how to survive on a mountain. We learned how to start fires. We learned how to build snares, how to go fishing, how to hunt, how to shoot at range, flag party, all that stuff. Physical fitness, we did this test called I think it's called like the PAIR test that police officers do in the area where, to keep your physical fitness up. I also learned crazy stuff, like how to build a lean-to or small shelter, how to like fly a small plane like a Cessna, how to fly a glider and things like that, So most people learn how to do those things in the cadet program. And there's like 50,000 kids that graduate for that program every single year. So just say in the last 10 years, there's 50,000 people per year who graduate from there, who have that military background, the basic rudimentary survival skills and shooting, hunting skills, right? So you've got the whole military, and then you've got that program at the bottom as well, and border control officers, and then like the, what are they called? The Coast Guard officers and all that stuff. Then you've got the fact that Canada is a member of NATO. So you've got, how many soldiers are there in NATO? 3.5 million soldiers. I think there's like 1.3 million of them are American. So you still got several million soldiers from all over the world who are in NATO that can come defend Canada. And if you've been in Canada, you know that there are like British Army bases in Canada, as well as regular Canadian Army bases and things like that throughout Canada. So I just don't see it happening, because on top of all of that defense that you've got, and just like the training that regular people have in their lives, how to survive in the backcountry, the only areas, say like the United States invaded Canada with like tanks or something, they could get to places like Vancouver, maybe Toronto, Montreal, because those are close to the border. Cities like Winnipeg or like Calgary or Edmonton and all those other places are hours away from the border. You have to get across the border. It's winter 8 months out of the year. How are you going to do that? People die all the time trying to get across the border. They freeze to death. So I just don't see that happening. The United States military has 1.3 million people, basically. I don't see them invading Canada when they are at war in a bunch of other countries right now. I just don't see it happening. And why? Canada and the United States are allies. Do you think that people want to do that?